Check.
Check,
There
check,
we
check,
are.
check. All right, we get to see ourselves too.
All right. So here we are, Dealer News Live at the Ignition Studios on the show floor of AIME Expo. And I am here with the ultimate Triumph dealer. You were Triumph Dealer of the Year globally one year. You were Triumph Dealer nationally 14,
Yeah,
16 straight years.
we
However,
wound up being the number one Triumph dealer of all time in North America.
which that's saying something.
Yeah,
And this
is
is
what a privilege.
it was the new Triumph, but I mean, you were the new Triumph.
Well,
You
I
anchored that.
went to work for Triumph in 1994 as their first rep, setting up dealers when they re-entered the United States. And then I worked for a while. I opened my own dealership, SoCal Triumph. I opened that in 2000 with myself and 3 employees. And it grew, and my wife Cindy and I, we just sold it 6 months ago, 25 years. And we left with it being the number one Triumph dealer of all time.
Which it was a labor of love. The passion came through, but that dealership, that complex was you. You literally strapped on your tool belt and framed out the buildings and made what it was.
I grew up with no money. And so I didn't have money to pay contractors when I set up my dealership. I had to go in, hook my nail bag on, and walls and build it. And that's how it started with the help of my dear friends. And we just had a lot of fun.
Well, it seems like yesterday. I remember the grand opening. I remember
You
quite a
remember
few
the
milestones.
grand opening party? Oh my God,
Yeah.
25 years ago.
And there was a lot of top 100 certificates and plaques hanging in the rafters there too.
Yeah,
That was always near and dear to my heart to walk in and see that it actually meant something to a dealer.
for 7 years we were obviously very involved, and we got awards every year. And for some reason, at one point, I got disillusioned, and we've come back, of course, but it just didn't work.
Well, it's not all about the honors and the accolades, though. It's the passion that's kept you on two wheels. You've gone from the OEM perspective, where you knew it all and you told the dealers and they didn't believe that you knew it all. Then you proved the fact by becoming a dealer yourself and doing it. So talk about that transition a little bit.
Well, dealers, everybody has to remember that dealers are independent businessmen. And unfortunately, not all of them are really experienced, knowledgeable businessmen. And so the motorcycle industry is so unique in the sense that you have to have passion for what we do. It's not even like selling tennis rackets. You go into a sports store and you buy a tennis racket. But if you come into a motorcycle dealership, you need somebody. You need the ambiance. You need to feel that passion given to you. You need the experience of whatever salesperson is talking to you to help you get what you want and get what you need and get what's going to keep you safe. This industry is so unique and so different.
It truly is. But we do have the common complaint that good help is hard to find, especially on the tech side. How did you get around that all those years?
Well, I was very lucky that I was a master tech when I was with American Honda back in the 80s. And so I understood everything about what it took to work on the unit and to make the customer happy by giving them back a good unit, right? That's fixed and they don't have their worries anymore. So I was able to develop a service department that, in fact, SoCal, the other Triumph dealers that can't fix a bike, they send it to
you.
Yeah. So I was able to, thankfully enough, get really some good techs, and we got the best techs in the country. Well, not we anymore. I'm no longer the owner. Luke Muncie is a wonderful guy. He has bought SoCal, and I believe he's going to take it to new horizons.
Which you left some pretty big shoes to fill. So if you think Luke can do it, then I'll believe it.
Well, I do believe he can, and I'm trying to the best of my ability to kind of be Pops, to be kind of a mentor, you know what I mean, to help him. And I really do want to, because SoCal Motorcycles isn't just a dealer. It's, what we've developed over the 25 years has been a destination dealer, something it's all about that dealer owner understanding what it's like to be a motorcyclist.
But you still have that fire. That's what
Oh.
differentiates. It's
Yeah.
the people in our industry that make this industry great. But then there's greater people in our industry because the motorcycle is the tool that brought us together.
Well, I'm 73, but I'll tell the people watching this will like this story. Back in the 70s, I was president of a motorcycle club called the Road Toads, and we did long distance rides, right, and overnighters with the Southern California Motorcyclists Association. And at every one of these, they would give a trophy for the rider that came the furthest distance or the oldest rider. Now, I'm 23 years old back then, right? And every time that they give that trophy out, it was to a guy in his 90s. It was never the same guy. And it was a guy in his 90s that rode his motorcycle
To this overnight event.
to this overnight event. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, I can ride for 70 more years. And I'm working on it.
So, what's in the current stable?
I've got my Tiger 900 GT Pro. My wife Cindy has a Tiger 900 GT Pro. I've got my Bonneville 1200, and just yesterday I got back my original, and when I say original, same frame number, 1979 CBX, Honda CBX. I was one of the first people in the United States to road race a Honda CBX. I've got it 100 times down the quarter mile. I personally rebuilt the engine. This is the bike I needed to have. It went to my brother for a bunch of years after I had it. I always kind of knew where it was. And I rebuilt it, and now here it is in my garage.
So that will be getting quite a few miles this summer.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to go on a long ride with it because we are talking about 1979 technology. But I am going to ride it, and I am going to be out at all the local events on it.
Looking forward to that. Tom, what's been your pick of the show that you've seen here this year?
Well, it's just fascinating watching the change in the industry. We all know, you and I especially, that unfortunately, as much as I love Harley Davidsons too, they got a hard way to go. You know what I mean? Because that customer base, and I'm one of them, they're losing that. So I walk around this show and I look at all the new product, especially the product coming from China. They're making some pretty nice stuff.
Yeah.
CF Moto, their product line for 26 is amazing. And so I'm going, this change, this isn't the customers that I dealt with 20 years ago even. So it's...
we probably haven't had a dynamic like that since Honda went from being that Jap crap. And
in the 80s.
And that's CF Moto is going to be the next Honda because they are redefining the space.
It's funny that you say that. I absolutely believe that, because what the Japanese did, and people don't really understand that what the Japanese did is they took all the technology from everyone else and they perfected it.
Yeah.
And then they made these motorcycles that were undeniably better than everything else. And I actually, walking around this show, see the Chinese doing something similar.
And I wouldn't have thought that 5 years ago.
Oh, God, no. Oh, yeah, I'm with you 100%. And then you talk about the electric stuff. Now, I'm old school. You wouldn't pay me to ride an electric bike. It's like an electric car. You wouldn't pay me to ride it. But bottom line is, that stuff is gaining in popularity, and there is a new generation that is developing from electric bicycles and electric scooters and things like that I don't know if they want to put up with gasoline.
Maybe, but I will say that they are making that technological transformation from this to two wheels. So I will support e-bike. I will support anything that gets people off of their devices and ride. AI doesn't ride.
I believe the e-bike is creating the motorcycle surge of the future. Because all these guys riding these e-bikes that'll go 25, 30 mile an hour, and all of a sudden they're getting to be 16, 17 years old and go, wait a minute, that 400 will go 110? Well, I want one of those.
That dynamic is already, we're seeing that globally. When Kawasaki climbs up the sales
Oh my
rungs because of the strength of its 300 and 400 cc
And
sport
that
bike.
400 Kawasaki is amazing. So it's just wonderful being my age and being where I am now to be able to watch what's happening. I'm just loving it.
I am glad to hear that, Tom. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, buddy. This has been great.